If you're in the sex industry, and they don't understand, we have been trafficking, the sex trafficking. We didn't wake up and just say, okay, I want you to have sex with me for money. I had to have men do whatever they want to do with me just to have a place to sleep, and the drugs numbed it. But people don't understand what brought us to that life.
It's like everybody of color is either have criminal behaviors or there's some type of thug of some form, and I've never been raised that way. It affected me in the sense that once I started having my own children, and I was afraid for my boys, especially now with how things are going, is that I've tried to teach them to respect the law, but at the same time, if you are advanced or encounter them, to try not to antagonize them, to be very civil when you're answering the question, try to control temperament, to not escalate the situation. And so, it's sad that you have to be in fear for your children and their safety when you're supposed to be here to protect and serve the community, but it's like you pick and choose who you want to serve.
I was branded this aggravated, angry black woman, and nobody's really looking at why I'm hurting or why I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I'm saying. You just become a number to them. You just become a statistic to them. You just become a nigga and a number, and they don't look at why you off in there. So that is why I know that I was discriminated against because of my color and because of my gender and my socioeconomic place in the society.
So I get there, babysitter's in there crying. She has my youngest, my other daughter, and Jordan, my 2.5-year-old, was in one of the ER rooms dead. And that spun our lives out of control. It was horrible. So that same day, because we didn't know, the police didn't know what happened to Jordan, they took my 2 other children into CPS custody. We never got them back for about almost a year. So not only on top of losing my daughter, having my baby murdered, losing my 2 other children for almost a year, having to continuously fight, that was enough. I wasn't even allowed to grieve during that whole time. It was nothing but nonstop fight. But then to learn it's because of the color of my skin, I was shocked. And I had heard bits and pieces, but in my mind, I'm like, no way. This is 2000. This is no way. But the more I looked into Gainesville, they have a huge history of racism in that town. And I was shocked. So what I hope first is I think people of color, we have to fight harder. We have to have a louder voice. And it was because of my passion, obviously as a mother, that I wanted that. But I know for some that's hard to do. You've just been wiped down, knocked to your feet. But you have to get back up. Because unfortunately it's like that right now until it may take 2 or 3 generations before this whole racism ever can start going away. But that you have to fight and don't be afraid. I was not the person I am today, and if I would do anything to have her back, but her passing is what made me who I am today, and to do what I do for the Native American community and any other things that the door opens for me to walk through, I do. So I encourage people of color. It's hard, but you can do it. I've done it. We all have to do it. And especially against the justice system in itself, it's such a mess. And until things get changed, don't stop fighting.